Hi, I'm Christina Applegate.
And I'm Jamie-Lynn Sigler.
And this is
Messy. The following message is brought to you by Novartis. Since partnering with Novartis, I have been thinking a lot about when I was first diagnosed with relapsing MS. And to be honest, I was overwhelmed and in denial, and I didn't want to accept it. Eventually, I had to be real with myself, reflect on what was important, reframe how my diagnosis was impacting my life, and focus on how I was feeling. And I wish I'd started thinking about my needs sooner. It helped me get to a place of acceptance and find the right treatment choice for me. And I really hope others don't wait as long as I did. That's why I partnered with Novartis to create a 3-step guide, hoping it can help people speak up and voice their needs. Get the guide at reframingms.com.
Well, hello, everybody. This is Christina and...
It's Jamie.
And we're a messy couple of bitches with a disease that's real fun. Anywho, today is an incredibly special day for us and for all of you, because today we are talking to probably one of my favorite people in the world, the kindest, most lovely, funny, incredible husband, incredible father, and just, he doesn't smell bad and he is wonderful. And given that today is the 20th anniversary of a little weird movie we did called Anchorman, this is Will Ferrell.
Wow.
Wow. What an intro.
Wow.
Isn't she good at it?
She's so good. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so nice.
How you doing, buddy?
Wait, 20 years.
20.
Holy crap.
You know what's weird? It feels like more. I guess I've lived a lot of life since then. It feels like way more.
Slow and fast at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most good things.
Right.
Well, do we want them to be fast or slow or sorry, you know me. Sorry, Will. Anywho.
Wait, let me ask you a question about slow versus fast.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you guys were working actors at young ages. So you probably weren't. I was just thinking about my high school experience. And I remember most kids want to get out of high school. They want to go back quickly. I remember having a very real feeling of like, oh no, this is the best it's going to get. I've got great friends. I don't have to do much. I love high school. I love playing sports. I love doing bits. And nope, I don't want to go to college. I don't want this to go by too fast. Isn't that weird?
That is really weird.
It's weird, but it's so good. I feel like it's like what you try to learn as you get older.
Right.
Do you feel like you still do that in moments in your life? I've
always been, I guess, a little bit of an old soul in the sense of like, no, I'm not in a hurry. Like, smell the road. We got it good here. We got it good.
Yeah.
But
well, I feel like that tracks for you. I don't know you, but like being such a fan of you and what you...
Oh, thanks.
The way you can help people just escape with your performances, like that's how I always feel. Whenever I watch you, anything, Christina later will do this great movie trick that she does, but you're in 2 of my top 5 favorite movies strictly because of your performances and like just the way you can help people escape their lives with your presence. So I feel like that really tracks that you carry that with you and that translates.
I'll take it.
Take it.
You take it.
Wait, Christina, do you remember how you you thought I was having marriage problems? Because every time when we're shooting the movie, we would go out a lot socially, right? I don't know if you remember this. We would all go out as a group, like on the weekends or whatever, grab a dinner. And I was like, oh, great, let's do it. And then Vivica kept having to cancel. And you were like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. You verbalized it later, but I could tell you were like, what's going on okay, his wife's not coming again. What's going on? And the reason was she wasn't feeling good because she was pregnant with Magnus.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I finally could announce that she was pregnant like halfway through filming. You were like, I knew something was up.
Oh my God. Okay. It's coming back to me a little bit. I remember like that you guys had something that you weren't sharing yet. And then not something, that a pregnancy,
right.
Obviously.
Right.
Oh my God. Well,
Anyway.
For
she
people
picks
to
up
understand
on things.
Yeah, I wasn't really picking up on much, I don't think. But to say this to the people of the world, this couple is like couple goals across the board. In fact, all the boys, you guys are couple goals. It's incredible. Like Paul and Steve and Dave, still going strong. That's like some serious stuff. Like, how long have you guys been together? Because I love, this woman is so incredible, and you guys are like a force to be reckoned with.
It'll be 24 years in August that we have been married, but we've known each other since the summer of 91. Yeah, it was, it's one of those stories of, we met at first, we were both like, wait a minute, I really like this person, but it was kind of like, it was too much, too fast, too young. Like the intensity level was like, oh, whoa. So we were just friends. We kind of dated, but then we were just friends for 5 years, and then kind of circled back to each other.
Maybe that's the thing, though, to be friends, because you guys seem like best friends when I see you guys. And same with like Paul and Julie.
I just lucked out. I lucked out in South Coast Repertory Theater in Costa Mesa, California, where we did a summer professional conservatory program, and that's where we met.
And you're from Irvine, as I know, which I always, please don't take offense to this, I always think of anything outside of Los Angeles as not actually being in California.
It doesn't count?
They vote differently? Anyway, no, I'm just saying.
Well, it is funny because
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone from that.
Irvine is very, a lot of track homes, very safe, cookie cutter type community. And it was a great place to grow up, but I do love LA.
No, I mean, and I'm not saying that LA is the best. It's just like, I don't go far. I don't like being in the car for more than 15 minutes. Yeah. So I don't consider anything out of like Sunset Boulevard and Ventura Boulevard.
But to your point,
where I live,
when Viv and I would go visit my mother back in Irvine and my dad, she'd be like, I'm lost. All these streets look the same. They're all, and they're all themed.
They're all themes. Like what?
One area my mom used to live in were the names of small liberal arts colleges. So it was like
what?
And Antioch, and I'm trying to remember all the names. But then, or there'd be a whole.
No, you need to remember all of them right now.
Yes.
Every single one.
Miami of Ohio Lane. No. But it's a funny place. It's a lot of red tiled stucco roofs, a sea of them.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wish I had grown. It's like sometimes I wish I had grown up with a place with sidewalks.
Well, it had bike lanes. It had plenty of schools, and I kind of think that the safety and the lack of the benign boredom of living there allowed me the headspace to think of funny thoughts.
There you go. That's what I was going to ask. Like, who was like 10-year-old Will? Because I don't know so much, I've never heard you talk about 10-year-old Will. Like, what did you dress like? What are you into? Like, who was little baby Will?
Yeah. 10-year-old Will, fourth grade Will would have been like, really into sports, very conscientious student, but at an early age, still liked trying to make my friends laugh. I was like a conscientious class clown. I would I would goof around to a point. If the teacher said, please stop, I'm like, you got it. I wore my hair in a part, if you can believe that. The one thing that was an issue in my life was I went from having really straight towhead blonde hair to it naturally got curlier and curlier. So fourth grade, I would have had a part with like a wavy part. I don't know.
Oh my God. I love it.
Skyline.
I love all those things.
By sixth grade, by the time I left elementary school, that first day of junior high was very traumatic because I had to just go full fro. I couldn't comb it anymore.
I love your fro.
Yeah.
For sure, man. So what were your goals? Like, did you know back then that you wanted to be doing this? Or even though you were class clown, but smart in sports, like, was there like a thing? Was there something like, this is what I want to do when I grow up? I mean, I'm always fascinated by that.
It's kind of strange because I wasn't doing the school plays. I viewed that my dad's a musician, and I saw like the instability of that lifestyle, very much the ups and downs of being a piano bar entertainer. And he got to do some great things. Like we'd visit him, in Vegas playing for the Righteous Brothers. And, there were some big ticket items there too. But I saw how he could have a job for 6 months and then it would just go away and there'd be no rhyme or reason. So I remember thinking, oh, well, I'm never going to do that. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have a job where I go to an office and I carry a briefcase. That was in my 10-year-old brain.
Right.
I'm going to, do something with structure
Security.
and stability and security.
Yeah. My daughter, she's now wants to be a musician or an actress. I mean, she, like all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, good luck. I'm sorry. That's the terrible parenting thing to say, but I'm like, do we really want to?
Yeah.
We really want to go down this path? Because it's quite disappointing for 99.9% of the people. Just FY.
I know. Yeah. And that's what I was dead set against doing. But it was a little bit, my brain worked in a certain way. And, I knew I was going to go to college. I knew I was going to, and then that's where I kind of, and I loved comedy and I loved watching The Tonight Show. For a lot of your listeners, depending on their age, there was a thing called The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. It was
we have the gamut, honey. We've got the gamut. Trust.
You're good.
You're good.
That was the only place where you could see stand-up comedy. So I would stay up and watch if there was a comedian on. And then obviously we all watched Saturday Night Live, early Saturday Night Live. And I just remember I had like Steve Martin comedy albums. So it was like percolating the whole time.
Right.
But I still was like, that's just too hard. That's just too distant. How does anyone ever do that?
Well, and I was just thinking when you said The Tonight Show with the comedians, like if they weren't invited over to the couch, that was a real bad sign. Remember?
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. Like if you went on.
Sometimes they not get invited after?
Yeah. And it meant that Johnny did not like your stand-up. So if you didn't get invited over to sit with him, it was a whole thing. Like you just blew it.
I remember viewing it more like, oh, they did so great, they're getting invited over. Not as much as that it was a negative not to.
Well, I'm negative Nelly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're hard.
Like, boo, you suck. You didn't get invited over.
Well, then when you, I guess, committed to this, right? Because I understand you were part of the Groundlings and then obviously off to SNL. Were there moments where you were questioning what your decision was? Do you ever get nervous?
Of course. And definitely have been plagued by insecurity and all the things that we have all faced as creative people and that anyone faces in walk of life. But it's funny. I always tell this story. So when I didn't discover the Groundlings once again until after college, and started taking classes there, and had seen a show, ironically, my senior year in college, and thought, oh my gosh, that looks like so much fun. And they have a school where they train you to do it. Okay, that is a way that seems less scary than just trying to, go do open mic nights as a stand-up comic. And I started to allow myself to think, like, after even though I had this college degree in sports journalism, that was going to be the bridge to something that was more stable yet a little bit entertainment. I was going to be like a sportscaster. That's what I thought I would do. But when I left school, it's not like I had a job waiting for me. So I started exploring this Groundlings thing, and it came really easy. And I loved the ensemble, thus why I love Anchorman so much, is that we're all pulling on the same oar. We all got to play, and we fostered that environment of like, just go for it, mess around, and who cares?
Oh, that was like the bane of my existence. No, not that part. No, because I've never been, asked, like, just do what you want. I've always been told, like, you say this is what I wrote. This is the Bible. And then you guys are asking me to, like, just go. And I'm like, no, I don't go. But because of it, I can go now.
Yep.
Let's go toe to toe. Let's do this. Let's have fun. Like, my brain finally works that way, like that muscle. But when we were doing, oh my God,
well, you did it with the best. Well,
I would shake.
Now that we're on Anchorman, can I take it back quickly? So is that where you two first met, was during the audition process?
Yes.
And did you know she was the one?
We had read with a bunch of different people, and at the end of the day, Christina just checked all the boxes between funny, smart, tough, because we needed Veronica to be able to stand up to these doofuses, and she was the smartest person in the room. So you had to convey that. And she also had that classic newscaster look, and it all just came together in a way we were like, she's the one. And so that's I also remember we went and watched you. I don't know if you ever know this. We went and watched you in what was right around the auditions. Your movie was out, the airline stewardesses one.
What was that called?
Yeah.
With the Gwyneth Paltrow and the Marco Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And the people.
What's that
Google that.
View from the top.
Thank you. View from the top. Okay.
Computer voice. View from the top.
Yep.
And so we went and we watched that movie, and Adam and Judd and I were like, oh my God, she's hysterical. And so obviously your body of work too, but yeah, that was, and I think we auditioned a bunch in that audition. We improvised a lot.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, I was so freaked out.
Yeah.
You were?
I was so freaked out.
Yeah, it's really hard.
I didn't know why we were supposed to do that. And I'm like, they're like, okay, just you and Will just go. And I was like, do what? Go leave the room? I don't know what you're talking about. Go? What are we doing here?
But it's hard to convince, anyone who hasn't done it before that there's no wrong answer, and it doesn't matter. Like just spit it out and we'll find it.
I remember we did the audition, and then, with me and my street clothes, and then we did like a screen test.
Yeah, you're right. We did.
And I was in this room with like people that I won't say their names, these actresses, and I'm like, oh, I'm done here. We're good. I'm done. Because it was like 4 of us, and it was like the most like accomplished. It was like, I'm not saying like I got it overly accomplished people, but I was just like,
tell me who we beat out. Let's hear it.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope. Can't do it. And I just was like, oh, well, this will just be fun. And was like, you know what? Throw this away. Have fun with it. It's an experience. It's not going to happen. So just go have fun. And that's kind of how I live my life anyway with auditions and shit. Like, just go have fun. And whatever the result is, it doesn't matter. It's the process. It's the journey. It's the fun. And then got in there, and boy, we had fun. Yeah.
And that whole experience, because it was such a hard movie to get made in the first place. And when it finally came around to where, oh wait, now DreamWorks wants to make it, it just felt like we were playing with the house's money. So we're like, okay, gosh, they're letting us make this crazy movie. Let's just do all the kind of comedy things we've wanted to try that other people have said, no, you can't do that in a comedy. And we just felt like every day we're just breaking the rules and having fun.
Obviously I had so much fun. I just, first of all, that Will knows that I'm like a 12-year-old boy anyway, but with my humor. But I remember like Adam would come up to like go talk to you guys or something, and then I'd put like all the props that were all over the set in his chair. And it was funny like the first 2 times, and then I think Adam got like really annoyed with me about it. I put like police tape around his director's chair. Anyway, I remember Paul would come and knock on my door and be like, Corral's up, we got to go watch. Like it was one of those things where,
oh wow,
like if we had a couple hours off, we would go and have to sit on set to watch the magic between Will and Steve and David, and it was like camp.
I've now forgotten that there used to be something about watching the dailies after shooting that day.
Mm-hmm.
But what we would do is watch the dailies at lunch. They'd have a projection trailer on set, and we'd all grab our lunch and go watch the previous day's daily. And we so look forward to lunch because all of us were in tears, just like, what is happening?
What a great idea, right? To just keep the momentum of the day going and remind you like the great thing that you're doing and the fun you're having. I love that. I just wanted to take a quick break and share a word from one of Messy's advertisers. Since partnering with Novartis, I have been thinking a lot about when I was diagnosed with relapsing MS. I kept it a secret at first, and that robbed me of the support I really needed. I finally found the courage to open up about it and quickly learned the importance of speaking up. That means making your voice the loudest in the room. You have to find an MS specialist who's the right fit, who makes you feel seen and heard. It's kind of like dating. That's why I partnered with Novartis to create a 3-step guide to inspire others to own their RMS journeys, recognize their needs, and find a treatment that works for them. Learn more about my story at reframingms.com.
Messy is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I love my therapist. I don't know. Well, I do know where I'd be without her, and I don't want to be there. Okay? It's greatly benefited me in times when I'm not doing great and also times when I'm doing great. Okay? I think that the stigma about therapy is out the window. Or if you're thinking about starting therapy, why don't you give BetterHelp a try?
Yeah, because you know what? If you think that therapy is like because we have issues, you're a dumb. You're just a dumb.
There you go. I learned that in therapy.
Did she say you're a dumb?
Yep. She said they're dumb. Listen, BetterHelp's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out this brief questionnaire. You get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists, by the way, anytime for no additional charge.
Stop comparing. Start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/messy today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/messy. Support for the Messy podcast comes from Viore.
We've said it before.
And we'll say it again.
Mm-hmm. We love Viore.
Especially the oregano Villepin. I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's not your traditional old workout gear, okay? It's versatile. It's comfortable. Designed to look great in everyday life. It's perfect for a workout or an activity. What activities do we do, Christina?
Lay in bed.
Yep. Walking to and from the bathroom.
The toilet. Sometimes down the stairs, but gosh darn it, do I look and feel comfortable in my view.
That's right. They're one of my favorite websites.
They really are good.
To peruse. Is that a word? Like to peruse their website?
Peruse.
Yeah, you're my
You
word
are
girl.
correct. Yes.
I like to peruse their website because they make it very easy to find the products that you want, very easy to order from the website. And you can feel good, by the way, about the things that you buy and how they're made because Viore offsets 100% of their carbon footprint.
Oh, and you know what? While you're perusing, then you can pursue the oregano Villepant in medium.
Mm-hmm. If you want to just match your messy sisters.
Yeah.
Here's
the thing. You meet the pants you're never going to want to take off, guys.
That's right. Are you talking about the performance joggers?
I am. It's slim, it's relaxed, slightly cropped leg, side pockets, and a drawstring designed with the softest premium dream knit. That's trademarked. Hello.
Yep. And and my hubby, Mr. Cutter, he loves the men's core short. It's the one short for every sport. The core shirt has this classic athletic fit, falling just above the knee with an anywhere and everywhere versatility. You can go commando in it too with confidence because it has a breathable boxer brief liner. Viore is an investment in your happiness. So for our listeners, they are offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at viore.com/messy. That's VUORI.com/messy.
Okay, so not only will you receive 20% off your first purchase, but enjoy free shipping on any U.S. orders over $75 and free returns. You're not going to have to return because you're going to live in them. So go to viore.com/messy and discover the versatility of Viore clothing.
Were there ever any scenes that were so heavily improvised that they almost were nothing what was on the script, that like what we see in the movie?
Well, a lot of that stuff, Christina and I going back and forth insulting each other. I think we were some of that was scripted, but so much of it was just like, just keep going. Just keep going. That was the other thing. Adam just wouldn't yell cut. So you just have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
at first it feels like a burden, but then it unlocks a part of your brain
Right.
where now you're going into a whole nother area that you didn't even know.
Yeah. When he wouldn't cut, my hands would get sweaty. I was like, no, I can't. Please cut. Or sometimes he would just yell out lines. Remember, he would like yell out like the most bizarre shit. Like, I think, and I'm not taking this away from you, I think pirate hooker was something Adam yelled out, but maybe it was something you guys had written down, or I don't know, something that you guys just like in the middle of the scene, he's like, call her a pirate hooker.
Yeah.
Just bizarre stuff.
But yeah, I mean, you'd probably have to go through the movie scene by scene to really kind of pick out which ones were. I remember too, us when we're on our date and we're looking out, we're in the car and we're looking out over, and I'm describing that, Santiago discovered by the Germans, and it means a whale's vagina. I had tears. I'm laughing so hard because I'm just like, this is the most absurd. Like, how are we getting able to do this? I don't know.
Yeah, I remember.
I couldn't get through the scene because
it was so freaking funny. Oh my God. I remember we were driving and you were driving really erratically, in the scene as the character, obviously. And I said something about, you're about to hit this family is crossing the road. I mean, it's a little offensive now. I'm sorry, but whatever. It's in the movie. Yeah. And he goes, the Hernandez family.
But I think that never made the movie because we had a whole thing. No, we had a whole thing where I'm driving and just talking to her, but my eyes
not looking.
On the road. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
And then Christina has to be like, can you watch the road? And then
maybe it made Wake Up Ron Burgundy, which a lot of people might not know about, is literally an entire movie from what we didn't use.
A second movie called Wake Up Ron Burgundy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So funny.
How long was the shoot for Anchorman?
Not long. 38, less than 40 days.
Wow.
Yeah. But all shot in LA, and oh my gosh. And then
go.
And then the Bears is
this is what we need to talk about.
This is a reshoot.
They're very interested in the bear situation.
So here's an interesting thing about Anchorman. So we put the movie together, we do our first test screening, and so you test screen your movie, and it's a score from 0 to 100. And we were like, that seemed to play pretty great. We get the score back, it's a 50, which not good. It's not good. And that can either go one way or the other. It either there's a panic button that's hit, or luckily the studio was like, we'll figure it out. And they gave us budget for reshoot, and that, and Judd really helped to be like a steady hand in that regard. And so all of that, the whole pandas and the bears, that's all of a reshoot. That's a 5 days of a reshoot.
Like an entirely new storyline.
Entirely new ending was shot because the original movie, Christina's character is abducted by a vigilante group and taken up
bank robbers, right? And stuff, or like,
they were kind of like a comedic version of Patty Hearst.
Yeah. Which is all in the Wake Up Ron Burgundy. That's the premise of Wake Up Ron Burgundy, is like these
they're making a political statement, and she's taken up to the observatory, and we have to go. It's an action. We have to go rescue her, and that they just didn't like that storyline at all. The audience, we just lost the audience. And when it was the news team and all of us interacting, we would get them back, and so we had to basically reshoot the ending, and that was that Christina had. We were there covering the big unveiling of the baby panda at the San Diego Zoo, and that we were all there covering it, and Christina has fallen into the bear pit. And
I think I got pushed.
Which you did.
Who pushed me? Wait, who's
Vince's character pushes you.
Did Vince push me or the other? Wait,
no,
was it Vince?
No,
maybe it was Vince. I don't know.
Tim Robbins, right?
One of the
Tim
two
Robbins.
of them.
Right.
Yeah, it was Tim Robbins pushed me, right? Yeah.
Maybe knows better than we do.
I know. I got you. Wait, but we just learned, Will, that there were real bears. And,
yes.
And Christina was possibly charged by one?
There was what is called in the bear business a bluff charge.
Yes. Yes. For legal reasons, we're going to call it a bluff charge.
Okay. I'm not buying it.
We can't insult the bears.
I'm not buying it.
But yeah, it was from kind of far away too.
Nope.
Well, no. Okay. Nope. Never mind.
It was not far away, like 3 feet from the bear.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Does a bear shit in the woods? Well, Christina Applegate does.
I was going to
Next
say,
to bears.
did you shit your pants?
Yes, probably. I was shaking. I've never shaken.
Shooken.
I shooked.
Yeah.
Shook like that in my life. And I remember everyone was pretty freaked out. I mean, maybe they thought I'd sue, but no, I didn't. Shauna Robertson bought me a flip phone as a consolation prize. And the flip phone was the very first phone that had video on it. So I don't know if you remember this. Before she gave it to me, she had all of you film a little something to me about the bear attack. Sorry, the false attack.
The bluff
charge. And I still have that phone. I don't know if I could charge it. I don't know, but it's each and every one of you and McKay.
Is it a Motorola?
It's, yeah. I just keep doing this thing. People can't see it. I'm flipping that phone. And I have it in my drawer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You guys, all of you did. And it was a treasure. It's a treasure of mine. Can't watch it ever again, but it's a treasure of mine.
But yeah, that was before really good CGI, maybe.
Yeah. Because they were real bears.
Yeah.
And I had brought my dog with me. Remember Tallulah, my little dog that I kind of stole. I didn't steal her. She was found in the canyon and whatever.
And there was a lot of things about no perfume. Don't wear perfumes.
Or little dogs.
Or bring little dogs. Or do not slather yourself in bacon grease.
There you go. Don't do that. Don't slather in bacon grease. Yeah, that was a freaking trip. I also this is so stupid, but I remember, do you remember when we were doing the scene with Fred Armisen in the jazz flute scenes?
Yep.
And we're having our date and stuff. And I remember that day, like my tongue was feeling really weird. I don't know if you remember this at all. And I kept going, is my tongue real swollen? And that's to me what I sounded like. That I was like, is my tongue swollen? And you're like, no, it's fine. I kept sticking my tongue out at him, like, please is my tongue swollen? And he kept going, no, you're fine. You're fine. Well, I ended up having hypothyroidism, which makes your tongue swell in your mouth. So I was saved that day. But anyway, I don't know why I thought that. I just remember going like,
it was your first day of your symptoms?
Yeah. But like in the scene, when I've seen it before, I am kind of talking like that, but I'm not.
I've got to go. I have to rewatch to see.
Oh God.
It translated beautiful.
Yeah.
No one could tell.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Will, do you ever want to direct?
No, I am intrigued by it in terms of working with other actors, but I don't know if I could handle, the good thing about acting is you get to turn your brain off at the end of the day. And I think a director doesn't get that indulgence. And I just know that there's so many micro decisions, major decisions and micro decisions that I would probably be a little too over. I know part of directing is also delegation, but I think, ultimately my laziness kicks in.
Yeah.
So,
I think it would be so hard to, I don't know, like the perspective, like to jump out of it and have like an objective and a perspective and the moving parts, right?
I wonder if you guys there's always a moment on a project where I see a gifted director handle a situation in which in my own head, I'm thinking, how would I solve this? And then I just watch someone artfully navigate something in a way where I think, oh boy, this is why I'm not a director, because I wouldn't have been able to figure that out.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I totally, I think I would be a great first AD because I'm really, really controlling. But that thing of like looking at them and go, oh, I wouldn't know to put the thing there and then the thing there and then all
Well,
of
also
that.
too, and
right.
I think my default would be like, I don't know how to explain it. Just do it this way.
Yeah.
You can't do that, right?
Oh my God. No, you can't.
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure
like-
some have tried.
And just actors, right? Just actors. Like I'm I'm sorry, I keep saying this is your interview, but like I'm the worst because I always go, I know. And directors look at me like, why? Shut up. And it's not because I'm like, your opinion doesn't matter. It's like, I'm so self-regulated to the point where like, I know where I fucked up. So I go, I know. And I go, God, Christine, stop it.
You're already answering the question. And they're like, no, I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I suck.
But yeah, I'm there's probably a handful of times on any project where I see problem solving done in a way where it just reminds me like, oh boy, I would just be sitting there for hours going, let's just walk away. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. But you produce a lot.
Yeah, but that's easier is probably not the right term, but that at least you get to kind of jump in and just give a note here and there, watch a cut of something, give some suggestions, and but ultimately it's still what the director wants to do in a way.
Of course. You produced Succession, one of my favorite shows of all time. How was that?
Well, I really, full disclosure, I really wasn't. That was something that just kind of set sail, and I was a fan just like everyone else.
Yeah.
My main contribution to that was, suggesting that because it came in originally, Jesse wrote it as a feature, and we were thinking, and I had the bright idea of like, maybe it's episodic, maybe it's more of an HBO type show.
Well, greatest note of all time.
So that was my one contribution. The rest, I literally was just watching it the same way everyone else, just like beautifully written, wonderful casting, everything like that.
Yeah.
I know Alan Ruck. That's all. Anyway,
Great. They're all great.
That's what I wanted. Like, that's like, I want to do that. I want to do it. You know what I mean? Because of disability and things, and working is difficult. Like, I want to do what you're doing. And like, I was going to talk about Jessica Elbaum for a second, because, I met Jessica the Bear Day when she was working with you as your assistant, I believe.
So,
right?
Yes. My producing partner, Jessica Elbaum, was her first week of working with me as an assistant was that week of reshoots.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. She's doing pretty good. I like that lady.
Really well. Yeah. The whole time she was working for me, I was like, you're way too smart for this job, and do it for as long as you want. Trust me. I don't want you to ever to leave. You're incredible, but you're going to wake up one day and just be like, okay, I'm ready to do something else. And that moment came, and she had the amazing idea to start Gloria Sanchez and to focus on female-driven projects. And
she is my boss for Dead to Me.
Yeah, exactly.
She ended up being my boss.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she is a force.
She is.
And I think that because you're so incredible, and by giving her that encouragement, she got to feel open to having an incredible, like, her life. It's like, I can't believe what she's done. It's just, I don't know. It's just, you're just amazing. You have you got the modest touch.
No, I mean, you just, all I did was encourage a very smart, capable person to just trust their instincts. And she's done the rest. She's just has great taste, and she's wonderful in terms of, I think, working with, as you know, Chris, with actors, but also with directors, showrunners, that she has a really nice balance between the creative side and dealing with studio, and it's all been on the job training. I mean, her first project was Bachelorette with Leslie Headland, and so she kind of learned movie making and producing on that on that movie.
Bonjour.
Support for Messy comes from Babbel.
The best way to learn a language? Immersion. Living where the language is spoken and using it every day. But guys, that's not in the cards for all of us. We can still learn a language the second best way, and that's with Babbel.
Don't pay hundreds of dollars for private tutors or waste hours on apps that don't really help you speak the language. Babbel has these quick 10-minute lessons that are handcrafted by over 200 language experts that will help you start to speak a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel's tips and tools are approachable, they're accessible, they're rooted in real-life situations, and they are delivered with conversation-based teaching so you're ready to practice what you've learned in the real world.
Like this little ditty, fermez la bouche, means shut your mouth.
Oh, wow, that's a good one.
Okay, so check it out. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners. Right now, get up to, wait a minute, am I reading this right? 60% off?
What?
Your Babbel subscription, 60?
Wow. More than half.
But only for our listeners at babbel.com/messy.
Get up to, again, 60% off at babbel.com/messy, spelled BABBEL.com/messy. Rules and restrictions may apply. Messy is supported by Fatty 15.
It's pretty simple. Essential nutrients keep our cells healthy, which keeps us healthy. So if you want to get sciencey about it, studies show that C15 works by strengthening our cells, improving our mitochondrial function, and protecting us against damaging free radicals. The result, better long-term metabolic, liver, and heart health, guys.
That's right. It ends up that many of us are actually deficient in C15, which results in weaker cells, which means less energy, and quit working earlier than they should. So all of that makes us age faster, sleep poorly, feel sluggish. Is this sounding familiar?
Sounds like my day, Jamie.
Well, let's get
aging
you
faster,
Fatty
sleeping
15,
poorly,
girl.
and feeling sluggish.
Well,
You know what, though? What I heard, though, is that Fatty 15 is a science-backed, award-winning, vegan-friendly, see, that's for me, and pure C15 supplement. By replenishing our cells with that essential C15 zero nutrient, Fatty 15 effectively repairs our cells and it restores our long-term health. Aha, go science.
That's right. Fatty 15 has 3 times more cellular benefits than omega-3 or fish oil. It is made, it's made from a patented pure and oxidation-resistant C15 powder derived from plants. It's vegan-friendly, free of flavors, fillers, allergens, or preservatives. C15 is the only ingredient in Fatty 15. It is 100% pure.
Now, I ain't going to put down fish oils. I'm not, okay?
No,
But I'm
we're
going to
not
tell
here.
you, as a vegan, I used to take the fish oils and could taste the fish
Yep.
once it dissolved in my stomach. So this is it. This is it for us right here. We get all the benefits of the omega fish oil vegan-y.
That's right. So let's help regulate your sleep, your mood, your natural repair mechanisms that support your overall health. Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health.
You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/messy. And don't forget, you have to use the code MESSY at checkout. But I just have to give you all these credits. And the reason is because for the last 20 years, I've always spoken about the, it starts from the top, the kindness and the support. And you are our top. And you and the boys are like none other than any men or people I've ever worked with in my life. Like being supportive and kind and encouraging and lovely family men. And you don't see that a lot. I've been on other things with other men who are trying to improv or whatever. And it's always like waiting for them to win. And what you guys did that was so incredible was like, you wanted the other one to win. You wanted everybody to win. And that starts from you. And like, where does that, I don't know. Why are you so nice, Will? I'm not saying that. I'm just, it's so incredible because you are an enigma. It does not happen very often. You really are. Trust.
I mean, I guess it's a little bit the built-in. It's my nature of who I am. Like I just remember going and as a kid and watching a movie like Caddyshack or watching Animal House, and there wasn't just one funny person. Everyone was so funny, and oh my gosh. And that's why Saturday Night Live was my dream job, was that I really wanted to be a part of an ensemble, I guess, which is a strange instinct. Everyone wants to be the star and get all the credit. But I guess I always thought that, well, if the project is good, everyone will get equal amount of you'll get enough attention.
But you understand that that's not the case. Like on most things,
I don't know.
You can feel it.
I would watch Saturday Night Live, and I loved kind of the more utilitarian people like Dan Aykroyd and Phil Hartman, who for some reason Jane Curtin too, like they could be the funniest thing in a sketch, but they could also be the straight person and be just as effective. And that's one of the first things I did when I got on the show was I noticed some of the cast would say, wait, this is all I'm doing in the sketch? Get someone else. No.
Oh yeah. Tell them about cowbell. Come on. Like really? That's all you're doing? You played, no, I'm saying like, but I played a cowbell and it's like freaking genius.
The scene.
It's like,
yeah.
Right. But I was going to say, in terms of setting a fundamental baseline, I went to all the writers and I said, if you need someone to have one line or to deliver a pizza in a sketch, please cast me. There's no hierarchy as far as I'm concerned, because I feel like I can get a laugh off of the one line. And so I don't, the cliche is there are no small parts, and there really wasn't in a show like that. So I kind of just made it clear, like, I don't care. I'll be a voiceover in a sketch, and so I don't know. I've just always had that approach that there's enough to go around, and it's as much fun as setting up someone as being. And someone had taught me too, there is a strategic view of this that I think it was Lorne Michaels. You need to make an exit so that they want to see you come back. If you're on the screen the whole time, it's like, okay. But it's okay to leave. It's okay to leave and then come back and be like, that character's back again. Oh, it's just less is more.
Except for Kenan Thompson, who I freaking love, that he is so grateful to be there. Like I remember hosting and I was like complaining one night. It was like 3 a.m. We're filming one of the, the pre-tape things. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And Kenan just goes, I have the best job in the world. And that was it. It was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm such an ungrateful asshole. Like he's just like loves being there. But I'm with Kenan. If someone had said, okay, you're only going to get to do one thing and that's all you get to do. And I go, okay, SNL, and I'll do it for 20 years, 30 years. We were trying to pitch Lauren when we were at the show that like, he should add an octogenarian to the cast. There should be a like 75-year-old man on the cast, and we should have a dog in the cast. A dog and an old man.
Like, this person, and then Maury Silverman,
the token old man in every scene.
And he could start featuring.
They would become a star of the cast. Like,
oh my God.
Of course, we were shot down with that idea. But anyway, you brought up cowbell, and that's an example of how much creative freedom that Lauren gives you. Like the fact that I could write this sketch that was based off a memory I had of listening to Blue Oyster Cult and hearing that song, Don't Fear the Reaper, and hearing the cowbell faintly in the background. And I really liked that song, and I would drive along, I'd hear that song, I'd be like, that cowbell, it's so funny. I'm like, and then I remember thinking, what is that guy's life like?
I love the sketch even more now, knowing this.
I was like, what is he? Was that the only time he got to play? But was he featured on other songs, but they kicked him out?
Is it Favored Nations when he gets paid?
Exactly. Is it Favored Nations? And so I thought, I should write that up.
Oh my God. I didn't even know you were, honestly, they don't give really per sketch credit, on the show, but I didn't know you wrote. Oh my
Not
God.
only that, but I tried it earlier in the season and it didn't get picked. And I just held on to it. And then I brought it back for Christopher Walken. I rewrote it for him. And thank God I did, because he like made it, you know.
Oh God. It's so, I mean, when we get done today, I'm going to go just Google and watch again.
Crazy.
Well, all of them.
I ran into him I saw him on Broadway, and I went backstage to say hello. And he said, "You know, you've ruined my life." I go, "What?" "Oh no." He goes, "At curtain call, everyone brings cowbells during my bow." But he said it all with a smile. But he was like, "So just so you know, you've ruined my life." And
oh my God.
Sorry, buddy, but you've created it's because of you. You created one of the most iconic sketches of all time. And he was like, "Oh, good to see you." You know, but
There you go. Exactly. It's so
I love that people did that. That's what it does to people though, right? Like I love that people reacted that way.
I mean, I've watched Saturday Night Live since, you know, I was little, which I probably shouldn't have been watching, but I was raised by Nancy. It's going to be in the book. But
wait for the book.
Oh yeah, no, I'm writing it right now.
Okay.
But I just think like, I don't think there are many, I could name like 5 sketches that have like make me crack up over and over and over again. And I'd say out of those, you're in most of them, obviously. And like Cowbell and the cheerleaders. I mean, I can't like, who came up with the cheerleaders? What the heck?
That was just Sherry and I, like,
okay.
Yeah, Sherry and I just messing around during rehearsal, and we were thinking, gosh, let's think of something. And I said, "Sherry, have you ever seen these collegiate national cheerleading championships on ESPN? They're hilarious because these athletes are incredible, but they keep a straight face the whole time. And someone could like break their leg and they're still like smiling and clapping."
Oh my God.
And she had been a cheerleader, and then she just immediately started doing one of her cheers. I'm like, "Oh my God, what if we're these cheerleaders?" We just started riffing on it, and we're like, "Oh, what if we're cheerleaders who at first blush, you think they're part of the team, and they're coming up with these weird cheers, and it's revealed that they dress themselves in the cheer, that they've never made the team because they're outcasts and everyone hates them."
I love it. Oh my God.
It's one of the most classics ever.
And we didn't know, we were like, how do we do this? Because if it's just a bunch of stage directions, like, then they stand up and do a funny cheer, no one's going to get it. So we would stand up in that little cramped read-through room and clear a space and do the actual cheer. Like, we had to have it worked out just for read-through.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. And we'd have to do it in this little room and have it all worked out. And that's how we sold the sketch the first time. And then once it got going, we didn't have to worry about it. But
what a lot of people don't know
is just the size difference of you guys too.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, like everything was just sold it perfectly.
Will's an enormously tall man. Very tall man.
But yeah, Sherry, like, you know, was one of the most gifted sketch I mean, she's Hall of Fame for, you know,
majorly.
Yeah.
But I mean, for it to be able to come through, like, people don't know that on that day that you do the read through, you're reading 100, like, it's like 100 sketches, right? It's like, or 100, I don't know. Well, it's like, it feels like 1,000, 2 million sketches.
I mean,
reading one day.
We had so many prolific writers. There were sketches that were 60s. I mean, read throughs that were 60 sketches long, and they finally started pulling it back to get it like at least under 40. So you're not there for 4 hours.
I always felt so bad for all the ones that people were so like it was their passion project. And then you have to, and you as the host kind of get blamed for like shitting on their sketches.
That's when I started hosting, I saw the other side of it. And I remember thinking, oh, I like it better as a cast member, like to decide the fate of which ones, or
the host gets to decide.
The host definitely has a hand.
And Lauren.
Yeah. So it's
not just you.
And usually there's, Christina, I mean, what would you say? There's consensus on probably 75% of what the show should be, but that other 25%, it's like, well, I like this.
Yeah.
Other people like
that.
Yeah,
and you get side eye.
Yeah.
You get some stink face from these very funny people that you really loved hanging out with. Now they hate you. They're like, this was my dream sketch I've been working on it my whole career.
Oh, I'd much rather be on the other side where I was bummed and disappointed and really didn't know how the sausage was made. And now you're on the other side, like determining how much someone is in the show. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah. When we did Van Down by the River, I remember Lorne came up to me and he's like, hey, we have to put this in. You know, Chris has been pitching this for years and no one ever picks it. Will you pick it?
Thank God.
And I picked it.
Yes.
But I was, you know, there, but that's what I mean. It's like he'd been wanting that for so long and no one had picked it. And I was 18 or something or 19 years old. So I was like, oh, sure, Lorne, whatever you want. I have no authority here. But then the second time I had to like get rid of someone's sketch, very, very successful person. And I remember her like really stink eyeing me for a while because it was really funny, but there was other stuff too that was really great. And then I wanted my, I'm such a jerk. I wanted my sketch in about Jillian Shiz, who was my dance teacher. So that one I kind of co-wrote with the writers of a dance teacher.
That's a character you really wanted to play. And
but
in your comfort zone.
So then I pooped on someone who could probably like,
I know.
Yeah. Take me down basically at this point. Sorry.
Wow. I never knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an uncomfortable situation, but everyone, you know, they all know it, right? I mean, you guys know that that's like the deal and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, Kevin Nealon gave me the best advice during like my first season on the show. He was like, you don't have to hit it out of the park every show. You like you want to be able to look back at the end of the year and say, oh my gosh, I had 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 like signature moments. And that's enough. Like, you know, view it like a baseball player, you know, if you hit 300, you're a really good, you know, if you succeed 30% of the time, you're a really good baseball player.
Right.
And so I just viewed it with the long game in mind and then once you're on the show long enough, you're like, oh, I don't have much to do tonight. All right.
You're like, hey, I'm going to go lay in my dressing room.
Because I had an embarrassment of riches there for a while where I was in almost every sketch, which was amazing. I'm so thankful that I was being used so much. But then I had that's where the neurosis of like, are people getting sick of me? I gotta, you know.
Well, no one could get sick of me, but I understand that.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, it's so taxing. Like that 90 minutes. It's like people will be like, what do you mean it's taxing? No, it's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy.
Like, they don't see what happens behind.
Yeah.
You're literally getting dragged on the floor by like hair and makeup and wardrobe people to like stick you behind a curtain and get you naked. And you're not allowed to touch. I remember that. Like I tried to help them with my coat and the lady's like, stop touching. Yeah. I'm like, okay, just going to stand here naked. It's insane. So then what made you want to go? I mean, thank God. Thank you for leaving. Because Will Ferrell.
I was forced out.
What? Oh, don't you fucking say that. I'm going to go punch Lorne in the face.
No, I
forced out.
I was forced out. No, I just, it was right around like my end of my 6th year. And I knew I was going to come back for a 7th. And I don't know, something about 7 seasons, it just felt like the right time to just take a chance and leave the show. It wasn't as if I had a stack of movie scripts waiting for me. It was more that it felt like I had a certain amount of momentum and let's just leave the show and see what the next chapter is.
What was the first thing that you did after though?
Well, I had shot Old School while I was filming SNL, but that had been pushed. That hadn't been released yet. So that was
okay. That's why I get confused because I think Anchorman was after. Yeah, right. Okay.
So Old School was in the can, but they held on to the release, which is usually not a good sign. It was supposed to come out in November, and then I know they were afraid. It was up against the Eminem movie 8 Mile.
Oh geez.
Yes. So they were worried about that was a big movie. So they held on to it till February of the next year. So that wasn't coming out So I didn't really know. And McKay and I don't think we had started writing Anchorman yet. And the only other thing that I had, one of my managers had given me this script about a human raised by elves at the North Pole. And
Okay.
was conceptually like, oh, that's a great concept. But the script was like, God, really needed some work. And so I left the show with a concept, but not necessarily a great script. And Old School hadn't come out yet. And it was a little bit like, well, let's just try to make that better. Because I think if we can get it to a certain place, that's like a really, like, we see what the one sheet is, you know, me and this big elk, like we already see what the move, but boy, we're going to have to figure out how this works. So that was the only thing.
It's so crazy. No, because that movie is on in my house every holiday, and even days that aren't the holiday.
I know.
I mean, you're in a this is a classic holiday movie now, forever. Forever. Like Christmas Story and the one with the old guy. That's how I would talk.
Wonderful Life.
Yep. Black and white old guy. And then Elf.
No, and it was, it was very strange to come off of Saturday Night Live where I was, granted there were sketches like the cheerleaders, but I was known for doing kind of edgy, not necessarily R-rated stuff, but, you know, pushing the envelope. And I just remember the first 2 weeks of shooting we did all the New York exteriors up front. So we kind of did the movie first, and then we shot the rest of it in Vancouver. So I'm in my little trailer in the middle of, it's December, it's cold. I'm literally in my elf outfit, just staring at the mirror. And I always remember there was like a space heater in the corner. And I just was kind of like my hand, my chin in my hand, looking at myself in the mirror in the elf costume going, oh boy, buddy. Literally, buddy, this better work. Your last movie. And be like, what happened to that guy?
He was such a good cheerleader with the cowbell.
What the heck happened? This movie about an elf from the North Pole. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, they're ready? Okay, here we go. And so I literally had no idea. I just was like, I hope this is either going to really work or it's just going to be like disastrous.
I don't think it would have worked with anyone else, though. I mean,
no way.
No way.
No way. And don't you find it sometimes better to not have expectations?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And I knew it definitely wasn't going to work without committing fully to this fish out of water. In fact, James Caan, may he rest in peace, and we had such a good time working on that movie. And he would tease me because, Christina, you know that I like to do bits, but at the same time, I'm not like on all the time.
No, you're like have conversations. You're not like yada yada yada.
James Caan, we'd be in between setups. He's like, I don't get you. You're not funny. You're not funny. And I'm like, I know. I'm not Robin Williams. I'm not like, he's like, people ask me like, is he funny? And I'm like, no, he's not funny. You know, it was all with love, but at the same time. And then we were walking out of the theater at the premiere, and we walk out together, and he was like, I take it as like the best compliment because it's coming from James Caan. He's like, I gotta tell you, I thought everything you were doing while we were filming was way too over the top. Now that I see it in the movie, it's brilliant.
It's perfect because
I love that the whole time, like he's not acting. He's truly annoyed with me.
Annoyed with you.
Like, this guy, shut the fuck up. Jesus. You know, and so I literally drove him crazy in that movie, just acting like that kid. And but that was so funny. He's walking out, he's shaking his head, going like, "Great job. I thought you were way too over the top."
So I love that moment. So much.
But no, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man."
Well, I mean, that dynamic wouldn't have worked otherwise. Like if he, if he was trying to come up to your level, we always talk about like what's the theme, what's the tone of something. Like in that movie, you had to live in your own tone, you know, and the
Yeah.
people around you had to be like in reality tone. And it wouldn't have worked otherwise, but
conversely, we were trying, it was scripted a little more that he would get more frustrated and lose his temper with me. And he didn't want to do any of that. He wanted to save it till that moment in the boardroom where he kicks me out and kicks me out of his life. It's like, no, it's got to be this slow build. And he was totally right. I mean, he had plotted where his performance was going to go. And anyway, it was all serendipity.
it was such a good movie. I love it so much.
It's a perfect movie.
It really
Perfect.
is. I mean, sorry, we're just gonna gush, and I'm gonna have to watch it today. That's go. Sorry.
Yes, it will make you happy. Well, I was going to say, Will, before we let you go, I would love for you to tell us about Will and Harper. I was just, and your documentary, because I was so touched by your reaction to wanting to really like understand and take care of your friend. I think that says a lot about you, but also like such an important message, because I can understand your position and trying, like, not wanting to navigate something well for the sake of your friend and an entire community of people, but not knowing how.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that was kind of the origin of the project. My friend Harper Steele, who I met that first week we both got hired at the same time at Saturday Night Live, and she's always someone I've collaborated with, and she was our creative director at Funny or Die, and she had this obviously big literally life-changing announcement that she was transitioning at age 59. And yeah, it took us a while we'd emailed and talked, but we really didn't sit down and have a face-to-face kind of coffee for like 6 months after her announcement. And in that time, as we started discussing, anyone who knew Steele knows that she loves taking cross-country road trips. And that's part of who she is. And she was lamenting the fact that as a trans woman, she didn't know if going, like she prided herself on going to the like out of the way cowboy bar in Oklahoma City as her dead self. And now as a trans woman, she was like, I don't know if I can go to those same places. And then that's where this light bulb moment was like, what if we did a road trip and let's go to those places? And I'll be like it's kind of like that old movie, My Bodyguard in the 80s. Like, why don't I be your figurative bodyguard, and we'll go and I go, but I only pitched this just as a while. I don't want to exploit our friendship in any way. And I fully expect you to say no, but what if we made a documentary and I also you can use it as an exercise for you to maybe go to some places that you'd be fearful to go by yourself. And I'll be there with you. And it also selfishly give me a chance to ask you just every question I have. I don't like, do I need to treat you differently? Do I need to, are we still going to joke the same way? Are we still just all these questions? And she ultimately was like, you know what, let's do it. I think it could do a lot of good for me. And maybe this will be something that people will watch, and it'll at least be the steps of demystifying and answer a lot of questions of what it's like to be trans, and also be a template for a guide for talking points for cis people to know how to navigate this for the first time. So anyway, it's like one of the most wonderful creative experiences of my life. And the surprising part is it's incredibly fun. I mean, we still tease each other. I mean, you see our friendship through humor.
Yeah.
And then it takes these crazy emotional gear changes. It's just a really cool thing. I love it so much.
I can't wait to watch it. And I love the fact that, even it's when someone transitions, they're not transitioning out of the person that they were, they're transitioning into the person they always have been.
Exactly.
And so, no one loses. Right. Everyone wins in that scenario. And thank you for doing that.
That's beautiful.
I think it's awesome.
It's also, people have come away watching it, also just saying it's also about just advocacy for a friend who's going through anything, as well. So yeah, we're excited. We're so excited for it to be released into the world.
And when is that? Like, sorry, I know I'm supposed to know these things.
On Netflix. I believe it's September 27th.
Okay, so hear that, everybody?
Great.
September 27th.
Yeah.
Support Will and his
There'll be
beautiful friend for Harper.
A 2-week theatrical window as well, I think, leading into that.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, Wilson.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
I sit here and I just go, who would I want to just spend time with? And honestly, it's like, of all the things I've ever done and the people I've ever been around, I want to just hang out with the 4 of you boys.
I know.
Like, really, honestly, like, I can't.
I know.
And I know you've got lots of
I
life.
just saw
and,
Carell in Uncle Vanya on Broadway.
oh my God.
Holy Toledo.
He's
So good. Yeah. I mean, I booed a couple times.
I would boo too.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
At one point, I yelled, "Really? I'm not buying it." And I got
Do
some,
improv.
I got
He's funny.
Steve appreciated it afterwards. He
Yeah,
said the constructive criticism, by the way.
Why is he done? He like did 180, man. I was like,
I know. Yeah.
just from like Candle or what was it? I like Candle or whatever he said. I don't know. Whenever someone I know that's close to me.
I like Lamp.
I like Lamp. Whenever someone I know who has their period, someone maybe in my house, I'm like, the period attracts bears. Careful of those bears.
Bears.
Bears can smell the menstruation.
Menstruation.
It's got to be one of the more top quoted movies, just because there's just so many lines that are gold.
I think I literally said the other day, I'm in a glass case of emotion. I really did, like from a real place.
I think the sequel is so good as well, but it doesn't quite get as quoted as much.
It's because I'm not in it as much. Just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke.
Right.
No, and the sequel's great. It's awesome. But it's like, I think because ours it was like so concentrated.
Yeah.
I mean, it really was just, it was
also, I think
Fred Willard and everybody was just, it was just us. For you guys. And I came in here and there, but No,
I mean, it was, not to say, it was, I think, the reintroduction of a type of movie making that hadn't been seen in a while.
And it was on film, by the way.
Yeah.
Nothing's on film anymore. It was on film. That's why it looks so good, right? It
does. It's beautiful.
And you know what's something that funny that people might not know? Well, they're not going to know because it was a phone call that I got. After the weekend that it opened, my friend who worked at DreamWorks was like crying on the phone. Was like, it didn't do well, right? It the expectations of it. It's not like it was a flop. It just the expectations. I think they thought it was going to be like, and it was like this weird momentum. It was like that Rolling Stone, gathering moss as it came down. It was like before you knew it, it was like bam. It was,
yeah.
But it took a couple years on it, like DVDs and
DVD and cable, and it really became a thing. Yeah,
it's a good thing. You did a good thing, and thanks for having me to be a part of it because it's one of 2 jobs I've had in all my life that are my favorites. That and Dead to Me. That's it.
I keep doing the character because it's so much fun. But next week I have to promote. I'm going on Fallon next week as Ron Burgundy, promoting another movie that Ron Burgundy's not.
Oh my God.
Well, wait, when is this coming out?
The day of our 20th anniversary, July 9th.
July 9th. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, today's still July 9th.
Yeah,
That's
right.
It's still today's
today.
I'm ruined.
Up today.
Yeah, today. Oh, it's a hot one, huh?
Oh, it's a hot one today.
In Alabama, Jamie. Jeez.
Oh, I can't even go outside. Thank God. Thanks for keeping me in, guys.
I had such a good Independence Day.
Oh yeah, the 4th was great.
Willie, we love you. Do you want to play this really quick game or no? Do you have to go?
I've got do you want to do the quick game? Okay.
You have to. Okay. This is what. Okay. So why don't you explain it, Jamie? Because I got to
Okay.
get myself together.
So
I have to
Madam
get my psychic
Christina
hat on.
is, yes, this is her crazy trick that she's very good at. So all you have to do is give 5 of your favorite movies. Don't think too long about it. Just, it doesn't just the 5 of your favorites that come first to your mind, movies that you could watch over and over again.
Okay.
That just make you feel all the things that you want to feel.
Okay. It's a Wonderful Life, Cinema Paradiso. Also, let's see. Shawshank Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
The Godfather. Is that how many? That's 4.
That's 4. Just need one more.
One more. Don't overthink it. Just say it.
Don't overthink it.
No, but
Like if a movie, if it's on, you're on TV and you're scrolling, you'd stay on it to watch it.
I'll just say Planet of the Apes, the original.
All right, you guys talk for 2 seconds while my brain
Okay.
goes.
Shawshank Redemption was on mine, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
And Old School.
Oh.
And Step Brothers.
Step Brothers, I've watched like 400 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's so.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm gonna, an hour from now, I'm gonna go, oh, how did I leave this one off? But anyway, you have your list.
Well, this is my list. So what I'm okay.
Wait, what are you doing?
So what? Okay, do you want me to tell do you want to explain what you do, or do you want me to explain what she does?
It.
So basically, she's just gonna tell you who you are. She's gonna just really dissect you in a way you've never been dissected before.
Okay.
Sometimes I make people cry.
She's made people cry.
Yes. Okay. So I've only seen Cinema Paradiso like once a long time ago, but I feel like there's this feeling of, I might be completely wrong, of not really having like a place of belonging, like in a group. And maybe that's why you sought out groups, like when you were a little kid, that there wasn't like, that you felt that you could lean on a group. And this is what I'm getting, because these are all kind of movies that feel like someone would have your back, and like a loneliness of not like trusting and having people like really hold you in a group. And that's what I feel.
Wow.
So that's why you like groups and troops.
Yeah.
Groups.
I would say that there's a lot of validity to that. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so, just, I don't know, but that's what I'm feeling. It's a little simple thing that I talk about. It's like being a little kid and then not, I don't know.
So how did you deduce that from that list of movies?
That's what spoke to me.
Huh.
There's a thematic thing there.
Yeah.
Of,
Yeah. I mean, I think definitely being funny was an easy way to make friends. Not to feel like being an outsider, and then it was a way to ingratiate yourself to a group, for sure.
But it's like, for me, like when I use humor, I use it sometimes to not let anyone see what is like truly going on with me. But you're pretty, I don't know, well adjusted. I'm not. Anywho, it's not about me.
But you know what is interesting about that is that, and this is like a minor thing in terms of, it's not really even trauma, but I remember feeling so embarrassed because my real name is John William Ferrell. So first day of school, it'd be John. The teacher would be like, John Ferrell, John. And it was so embarrassing to me to have to say here, but I go by Will. I don't go by John. And for the first week of school, it took like a week before the teacher remembered, that's right, you're Will. And that was excruciating to me. So the beginning of the school year was always like, oh my gosh, I hate this. I have to remind the teacher that I'm not John. So
what was it about John that you didn't like? Or it's just because...
No, it wasn't my choice. My parents named me John. They called me Will. I grew up as Will.
Got it.
Yeah. But on our rule sheet, my legal name, John Ferrell.
It's John. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why that was so embarrassing to me to have to explain. I'm actually Will. And then And then I think maybe for that reasons, other kids, new kids, first day of school, like, why don't you go by John? It's a long story.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow.
anyway, that
there you go.
outsider thing.
There you go. Like a little, yeah.
People are going to be listening is going, that is the lamest thing ever.
We just lost anyone named John listening as listeners now. They're like, bye,
John.
Bye, John. We'll see you another time.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are a freaking delight. I love you with all my heart.
Guys,
and,
thank you so much. This is so.
you know,
Thank you so much. And congratulations, you guys, on 20 years of just a classic that people love and you've made laugh and have made it so happy. Congrats.
your periods attract bears.
Yeah, great facts. You've given us great facts as well.
Have a great day, my sweetheart.
All right.
All right.
Bye, Will.
Bye, you guys.
You hear it all the time, how he's just lovely and kind, and just have somebody be that way and also that immensely talented. And it was interesting to hear him say like that and to you too, that like he's not necessarily funny or like that guy off camera.
Mm-mm.
Like it's not about that for him. Like he said, it's about the collaborative experience and the fun and the play. And it's just, I think that's what makes him as good as he is, because he's not trying. He's just having fun.
Yeah, that's how he is on set. The only times I would laugh when we weren't filming is if he and McKay were sitting by the monitors and they would riff off of each other to make each other laugh. Like it was their private conversation. And I would just sit there like with my ear, like listening, because they were so funny together, just being like fake angry at each other. I don't know, whatever they would be doing. It was like that's their language, like their love language was just being funny to each other. But when it was time to work, there was really a seriousness around that and a collaboration and a kindness and a support. Like we weren't just giggling all the time. That wasn't like how it was. Of course, on camera, yes, but off, it was like very collaborative and very, matter of fact. Like that's what you see is what you get. There is no other Will there. That's the Will that I know, that I've gotten the pleasure of working with twice and knowing all these years. So we're all better for it.
And nobody could have done that part but you, because of all the things that he said you possessed. You know what I mean? Like how smart you are, how quick you are, how talented you are. Like it's not there's very few women, I believe, that could have handled, even though those four men, like you said, are just the loveliest and the kindest and the most fun, it still takes a lot to handle hanging in that crew. So
I think one of the things he said, which is so funny, which now has become kind of something I've heard like a lot from people that have hired me, is that I'm scary.
But like
scary.
You're not, but in a good way.
But I'm glad.
Strong. You're strong.
Right. Well, I'm glad
you've been through shit.
Don't fuck with me. Come on now.
Yeah. But you know what? The people that are strong and scary, it's because, like I said, because they've been through shit, which also means you have a deep sensitivity to you. And the way that you care about people is like no other I've ever friend I've ever had. So
I love you.
I love you.
Thank you.
Shall I pull a card?
Pull it.
We are here to add what we can to life, not to get what we can from life. Oh, that one fits today too.
Oh my God. Wait, check it out. This morning, when my kid was off to school, she was doing finals because it's July 9th. So this was months ago that it happened today.
Yeah. Summer school.
And I said, let your light shine today because you'll attract more love to you so that they can see you. I said, let your light shine today so that people see you. And it was like, and I was half asleep. And it was like, that was what I was dreaming that. And then she goes, Mom, stop talking so weird. I've got to go. And it was just weird. But I was like laying here, like, let your light shine today to attract more good to you. And they can see your light in the dark. And I was like really being weird, but it's like, that's kind of what the card's saying.
Yes,
like,
it's exactly where he just give what you're here to give to life. Don't worry about anything.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
And I love you.
I love you.
And
so it is. This show is executive produced by Christina Applegate, Jamie-Lynn Siegler, and Allison Bresnick. Our audio engineer is Josh Windish.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to leave the show a rating or review. Hi, it's Jamie. Thanks for listening. I just want to let you know I am a paid spokesperson for Novartis, but this podcast is independent from my collaboration with Novartis.